Okay. What's that over there? It's like... Oh, was that? Hang on, let me fix that. There we are. Just a little bit of my catch was showing to the green screen. Alright, am I live? Let me check. Sure am. Hell yeah. Alright, excellent. So we continue with Attorney Chronicles. Yeah, because last episode we beat the first case, so that's all done. So we can continue with our adventures. Yeah, because we found out that the murder was done by some lady, so spoilers for Lost. And she's not going to jail just yet, but apparently she's going back to her own country, and then she's gonna be prosecuted there. So, unfortunately, she didn't get to see her go to jail, but that's alright. We're gonna continue then, and getting right back to it. Yep. Yeah, starting episode 2. Excellent. The unbreakable, shackled, speckled bands.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, they came from the ventilator.
So what's the murder going to be this time?
Almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. You see,
like every case in Next Eternity has always been a murder. Someone always dies.
I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Not sure if I call a snake that, but alright. Hey, look at the speckled bands. It's like, no, it's a snake, clearly. Well, it's January 6th, 37 AM on board the whatever. Didn't have a chance to finish reading that, but okay.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events.
Oh yeah, because this is
curious murder.
Sherlock Holmes, right?
Excuse me.
Because I believe he is a character in this game.
When the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor.
Oh god, not this.
Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle.
I mean, that was one of the very early Attorney cases. Like, oh, they clearly, with these last,
And the letters are well
with these last dying moments, wrote something on the floor.
This is a most
The
extraordinary
classic.
script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture.
Damn.
Well, what have we here?
Somebody still inside?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary.
I'm
You
great,
see,
please.
In less than 5 seconds from
I
now,
am the law.
I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder, and it can be locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
Yeah, 'cause you see.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't escape, he's still in the room.
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so it's not Sherlock Holmes, it's legally distinct character. That's totally not Sherlock Holmes. I swear. It's very creative. Switch the letters around, of course, and get away with it. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait. I can't move. Oh no, I'm not in for murder again. Oh god. Ah, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you woke up now, huh? We had to drag you out of that wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You're a true cold-blooded man. Yeah, we're in for murder again. Oh god. You. Ha. You found me then. Duh, we found you. And now you pay, criminal, with a K. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry? Now you've been found, it is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, huh? No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Did you, like, help us with the last case? You clearly know that I didn't kill someone then, so why are you suggesting that I did now? Miss Susato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Huh, you pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in a sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-san's body was discovered not long ago. Oh, he died? Oh. So it was him that was killed as well? Oh, damn. Yeah, because I was assuming that something would happen to him, because there's artwork promoting this game. Oh, I think it's like on the menu, but like before you beat the game, it has like the main character, Rhinosuke, and he has the sword that Kazuma has, so I was assuming there's something that would happen to him. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us what you're doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs, surely you don't think they're like old medieval handcuffs? I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-san's life? Answer me, please. No. No! Times 1,000. Uh-huh. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? We won't get in trouble. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way the Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case on the floor. I thought I was gonna die. I say snuck in the suitcase. Yes, I still can't believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. It must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, though I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. Oh god. But if you can find yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians won't be very forgiving of a stowaway. It's like hiding out for, what, just under 2 months? Yay! They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. It's like every day. Why do you take 2 meals back with you? I'm hungry every single day. You know, working out, trying to keep fit, doing push-ups every day. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From my faithful judicial assistant, Makatoba. You mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we can confide in her, couldn't we? I believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew that what we've done, that would make her guilty by association. It's the best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time. The time when the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. Back in the suitcase you go, or not. I know it's crampy, you better get in there. I think it won't be for long. Anyway, compared to hiding inside a traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on the piece of paper? What? Then I can just stick over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. You think you'd lock it or something? He probably wouldn't have that kind of freedom. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England, together. We leave at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Ah, you said before. You said admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away in your ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Sasoro-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask you too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. The shoes. About the incident. I guess I want to find out this first, right? Was it? Because it was somebody else's body that I was looking at, right? Or was it just him that died? I'm not sure. Can't anyone tell what actually happened in here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you'd know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wait before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside the cabin, so I've every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sasuro-san arrived at the cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. He didn't try to open the door. Alas, it just opens from the inside. But if it's slammed shut, how do you get in? I guess there's a way you can unlock it. The crewman forced the cabin door open when we managed to get inside, or unless it has the lock in the inside, like it can only be locked from the inside and it just swings open, like back and forth, maybe. I wouldn't imagine it'd just like hard lock every single time you close the door. Ah, okay. And that was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. Ah, so it was just him that died. Okay. And while the tape was there, shows exactly why he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. Yeah, where would you sleep? In the bed with him, I guess. What if we cuddled together, huh? For 50 days. This is all very hard to believe for me, Stu. Trust me. Alright, I'll ask about his death as well. He really has been killed, hasn't he? Just this isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? Well, they found him. The cabin was locked from the inside. I'm gonna look around. Is there like any way that somebody could like get out? There's like the vents up there. To get on top of the water to open it, maybe. There'll probably be some sort of like, there's a hidden passage behind the bookshelf or something like that. Look at these scratch marks on the floor. Yeah, where are we gonna go to court? Like, is there gonna be a courtroom on the ship? What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via porthole window, and the bolts in the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after crime, the culprit couldn't escape these four walls, or unless the culprit is still inside the room as well. Check that trunk there. Are they crammed inside? I can fit inside. Why couldn't somebody else? It's not so far-fetched. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or did you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Sasuru-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't believe we shall learn more until this expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means that there's no obvious internal signs of injury then? Or external? That's true, yes. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy, it's still throbbing like anything. Yeah, obviously I was drugged to stay asleep, so I obviously wouldn't hear the murder, and I'd be in the room once they open it, so... Oh, new things. Stowaway. Why even on this board in the ship, Naruharu-san? You said something about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since I left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you occupy Kazuma-san's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why did you want this? What's the real reason? Why'd you go to such an extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? Well, it's probably because he saw the potential of him, you know, being a lawyer. And I was like, come to England with me so we can study together or whatever. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer like yourself? Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London's at the spearhead of criminal cultural developments, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be as any harm as seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. Definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Oh, nothing. Forget it. Then you'd become my rival, right? How dare you to become a lawyer, better lawyer than me, and become so darn talented, darn tootin'. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing. They wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps that he thought it could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susanoo-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. I know Kazuma-san. Sama. I expected he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right. Yes. Word perfect, in fact. Last one. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't know. I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself in that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep? Well, yes. Yeah, someone must have known, like, who figured out that I was also here, and also who wanted to kill him. It's interesting. When we've seen, like, the two shipwrights so far. Not shipwrights, the ship workers, I guess. That's all we've seen so far. But the killer's probably going to be somebody else, like always. Because like it's always like the last person that you interrogate is always the killer. So, but of course we're always like, he did it, they did it, she did it. It was her. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. Well, yes. I know that sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Sasura-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Ugh. So hang on, I just want to check something real quick. Okay. I was just seeing if the category set itself, and it did. Got it. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why'd this have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow you to happen. She's gonna kick my ass. If I try to leave, she's gonna flip me karate judo style. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands are tied, literally, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. Yeah, I guess in this... Oh, I guess in the last case, we're also at the crime scene, so... I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Oh, yeah, exactly. I thought so. Yeah, I called it. What the... That was a Susanoo takedown. Susanoo what? That martial art form? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What are you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I don't even have a court record yet. Like the case hasn't even started. What am I supposed to... I have to get Sasuru-san to believe me. I have to show some evidence right now that proves that I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Oh, I guess this would be it, right? The keep out. Yeah, how can I exit the wardrobe if this was in place? So, yeah, and I literally could not place it if I was inside, so makes sense.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovering this wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so, Kazuma always put up in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah, yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before you opened them. But if I was truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Bullshit, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. You have psychic powers, you stuck it through mind energy. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-san thought so highly of you. Thank you, Sasuru-san. Now, do you think that perhaps you could help me out? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here at least. Yes, I get to look around and pinpoint bits and pieces. Yeah, because this was the thing in like some of the other Ace Attorney games where you get to investigate. Not necessarily the crime scenes, but yeah, I think you get to go to places where the crimes took place later on. And, you know, just search for clues and evidence and whatnot. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. Yes, of course. Mind bullets. What does she think I am? A magician? Yeah, magicians come in later. Yeah, because I believe that, I think it's in Ace Attorney 3. One of the characters is a magician, so... For now, I suggest that you investigate as thoroughly as possible here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Sasuru-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure that you have nothing to do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I would want you to using your conjuring tricks to destroy the evidence, for example. Right. I'm gonna peel off all this tape. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Okay. Oh! Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I can move if I want to. Oh, I guess not. At this current time. I'm in handcuffs under the house arrest by the crew, not to mention Sasuru-san's constant glares. I think it's fair to say that I'm stuck in this cabin, for the time being at least. I should focus on investigating here to see what I can find out. Yeah, because I believe in some of the other games it was like you can move from place to place if you need to, and then you can get back to Fulton. Can I present my badge? Let's do that. Sasuru-san, about this... I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. But we don't have time to waste on anything else. We must find clues. She looks serious. Really quite deadly serious. Alright, fine. How's the guy? Standing out. Alright. Is it X to inspect? X to interact? Yeah, look here, like look at the HUD down here. Oh, I can't. Just look at that. Yeah, it goes away when I try to get over it, but still. It's like all the things at the bottom of the HUD, there's no X to interact. It's like that's what fucked me up last time. Ugh, so dumb. Perhaps just see what this Russian crewman makes of the crimes at the end of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going, the investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true. I see. Sorry? The criminal asking the investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, that was supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. It might have to be useful information though. I might have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Niet, of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silence. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? It's like, just that he's not going to give you anything. Just for a moment there, he seemed a little flustered. He did it, clearly. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Sasuru-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, as you. Are you, Naruto-san? Well, I'm going to eventually look at everything. Oh, it's being like, yeah, you can pan if you need to, I see. I'm sure you're careful to look around using the, aren't you? Now, let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Yeah, I guess it's like... Obviously, you can only investigate certain points until now, but now it's like you can go, whoa! Can I go any further? No. Examine the door. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt has been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt, and not particularly sturdy. It just slides across and secures the door shut. Yeah, but that's like steel on steel, right? Oh, I guess like the kinds of bolts that secure it in place might just pop right off. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. Yeah, because someone would have to bolt it from the inside, right? Right. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up inside my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle thread to draw the bolt from the outside of the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin is framed and made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. Yeah, I was gonna say, it'd probably be too heavy to do that. There'd be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up down my spine. Oh, and it gives you a tick to say that you've interacted with it. That's cool. Excellent. Very good. Can't investigate that. Can investigate this. Seiji, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Azuma. Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame knowing we drew them so thoroughly? Of course I can. I mean, I'm an innocent, so why wouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on the ship. Now you're going to bring that up, aren't you? I can't win. Alright. Is that a cigarette? Bullet. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Really? Oh, I see. Oh, it's supposed to be like a chicken burn, right? Ah, okay. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor there? I'm not a dog, Satsuru-san. I ate the table, of course. Which begs the question, though, when and how the plate ended up on the floor. Like Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's not right, so he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma-san spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an empty stomach. Or achy stomach. Yeah, no cleanup afterwards. Isn't that like the old telltale rumors, like when you die, the last thing you do is shit yourself? I don't think that's true, but that's like an old South Park gag. There's nothing on this table at all. Unless somebody, like, in his like dying moments, he grabbed the sheets and like moved them downwards, making the table fall on the floor. Perhaps. Although the plate seems to be very intact, it's not broken at all. The plate and cutlery are over there on the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. Convenient. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No. Sword? That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana was like a soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that just shows how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. I was gonna say, it's like lucky that it isn't the murder weapon. Killed by my own sword. Ugh. These are rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Bruya. So how come that calligraphy on the wall is like in regular, like Japanese calligraphy, but this is like garbage scribbled up like nonsense text? This is what you think of English, huh? Or I don't know what it's supposed to be, but still. Yeah, I think it's like more or less like a lot of games do that. They like to just do garbled up, like scribbled up, like jumbo text or like garbled text, so they can obviously like, you know, they can ship it anywhere. And it's like, oh, obviously the characters can read it because it's in universe to whatever language you play this in, but it's not like English for English or Japanese for Japanese. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Well, we got an exception, I guess. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in there. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled over the same way. I think that'd be just from the ship moving, right? Be easy enough for the books to fall over. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. This is almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked. And everything mowed down at once. Unless the, I was gonna say the killer was looking for something, but would they just do it all the same way? Maybe not. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Yeah, there's nothing cut, right? Then perhaps it was you, Naruto-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess with a few books and a statue. Could the way these things be thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Isn't this tampering with evidence, technically? No. Ugh. Oh, I guess I've already seen the scene, so it makes sense, I guess. What do you think this is? Looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean too. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Natsuke fastener, like from a Komodo outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Azuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket of this like it would around with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is this, I wonder? It has some sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see the same color anywhere else in this cabin. This looks like the culprit wasn't as clean as he thought. And what's that like stain on the floor? Oh, I can check that as well. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. Oh, I guess just you can check the ink as, you know, a hole. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. What did it say? Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage? Poor Kazuma-sama, no doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some sort of a clue into these final moments. Or was he? I'm sorry, partner. I can't read your writing. You're gonna say, wouldn't he like write it in Japanese or English? No, not whatever this is. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruto-san. What? Then, what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. And what does it mean, I wonder? It's the combination to the safe, which has the identity of the true killer in it. Maybe. I can't look at the ink pot. No, I already looked at that. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Which is in hindsight, it should have resonated before the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read it. It turned over and over and over, and I was tossed on the floor in there. Oh dear, bringing a stowaway isn't romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Satsuru takedown. Can I check that lantern? No. Check that pipe? No. Check that thing? No. I probably have to move it over, right? I'm just looking to see if there's anything on this side that I missed. I think that's everything on this side. Check that chair? No. Yeah, I think that's everything. Right, looked at that, looked at that, look at the bed. Can I look at that? Yeah, I can look at the vents. Yeah, of course. Check that first. I think that's some sort of opening for a ventilator. A hole which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, that's what it is. Looks like it must have connected to the next door cabin. Yes, that would appear to... You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely we connect with the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough or something like that. I suppose maybe that's it. Unless there's some sort of system where, like, they always gradually connect to each other. You get somebody else's air and somebody else gets their air and slowly it connects. Maybe. What else we got? This is where dear Kazuma-san would say whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. Today I'm gonna be killed. It looks as though his last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing when the incident happens? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! Oh, again. That's out of the question. Why? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright. I won't read it. Feels like I'm later, right? Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. This Spider-Manning from the ceiling. Aha. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You must have noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. And suspiciously tall. Now, Haru-san, don't tell me... Do you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Satsuru-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I can expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. If you press X on people while they're in crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Before we do that, I want to check out what we got. Yeah, I want to check out what the rest of the stuff is before we do that. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruto-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. I was gonna say like sleeping in that, like just sitting up straight. That'd be terrible. Christ, that'd be really, really bad for your back. Like you have to, yeah, it's like sleep in this wardrobe for 2 months. It's like, no, you can't sleep in the bed with me, only mine. Yikes. Yeah, though I guess if you didn't get found out, because you're you know, breaking the law. But still, I guess if you like stuff some sheets in that, it'd be okay. But still, you have to like sit in there to the point where it's like you just feel tired enough just to pass out. Yeah, because probably falling asleep in that would be extremely difficult. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. Yeah, it's like, you'd be in the wardrobe constantly. It's like, getting up and getting out. Like, how would you go to the bathroom? Like, it'd be impossible. I'm gonna pee in this bottle. Take it back. Hide it under your shirt or something. I don't know. Because of that, you had no idea what was happening out there in the cabin. No, sadly not. Yeah, what was it? There was a story about somebody who thought there was like some sort of spirit or ghost in their apartment because every single, like, out of the corner of their eye, they'd see like, you know, a weird, like, you know, pale woman, and every time they looked, they'd be gone. But he actually found out that there was actually a woman living in his walls of his apartment, and she was like living there for like a few months. So it's like, ah, I see. Okay. This is, yes, that's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean contraption? I read about it in a book that I was studying and talked about the life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which is but you can pull the ringer bell to summon servants. Oh, that's cool. Really? That sounds almost magical. So it's much like, being like buzz for like somebody, or like, you know. Well, I guess these days you'd call for room service or whatever, but still. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. Well, we're actually gonna do it. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. Well, it's not that, it's like probably just like, hey, somebody's ringing a bell in the murder room, let's ignore it. No, I'm sure it's just everyone is busy, that's all. It's like, I so very wish that somebody would come and help us. Actually, I'm gonna jump up and grab a drink real quick. I mean, I have a drink, but I want an actual coffee. Because I had like an iced coffee. But I'm not sure if it was actually like a real coffee, so I think I want a real coffee. Yeah, because I'm not sure about those like, what was it, the milk drinks that you can just buy by themselves, because they're like, hey, it's like double strength, you know, caffeine and this and that. And it's like, when you drink it, it's like, it doesn't, I don't know if it did anything. An actual, real, proper, canned coffee. I think that might work better, or it'll just make it even better. I'll get all the caffeine, I'll be able to read forever, and hey, it'll be all good. I think it was like these canned coffees. The first time I started drinking them was when I was working at a call center where we'd call up people and we'd try to get them to do surveys. And I remember I had like so much like energy running through my body. I was literally like speaking like so fast. Like my brain was working so fast that I just couldn't like stop speaking quickly. It's like I just couldn't slow it down for any reason. Working overtime for sure. And I remember I was like talking so fast, and the other guy, and the person on the line I was talking to, they're like understanding everything. I'm like, wow. Usually when I talk, I have to kind of like slow down, but hey, getting more work done quicker. Oh, let's do it. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh, this is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yeah, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings, hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly are you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Hey, it's like rather toy like fills up like the whole entire screen. I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What'd you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive, and recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, while I was venturing forward to foreign crimes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's not true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really the most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Did he perhaps manage to deduce anything else? But of course, like great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, you have fled to your native land of Russia, being, as you are, a merciless revolutionary. You have left 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now you travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when you beribbon the occupant of this very cabin, discover your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarized the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceived these eyes. Just to be clear, you aren't talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits this bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I didn't even see one person who fits that bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kasuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. It's absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way. Hiya! Again. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. I'm not sure where I got those facts from, but alright. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. As for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came to your head. But was I not right? While venturing forward foreign crimes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! And there you have it, you see? What do you make of that, hmm? Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder. So I'm not really sure what I could call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. And my method is founded upon the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. Huh. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. Change the character model to where he has his goggles up. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women to the world all over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same, the inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Satsuru-san? Most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? We must ask him what he's deduced. Yeah, I believe that nobody actually owns the rights to Sherlock Holmes. Or if they do, I'm not quite sure, but it's like Sherlock Holmes has been like in lots and lots of media. I think the most notable is there's some sort of Sherlock Holmes games where who's Sherlock Holmes' partner again? It's yeah, Watson, right? Yeah, there's one Sherlock Holmes games where Watson constantly follows you, but he never walks to follow you. So it's like every single time you turn around, it's like he's there. So there's some video on the internet where it's like Watson is extremely creepy. It's like somebody like walking around, and every single time he turns around, Watson is right behind him. That's very funny. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? And I remember that was the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. I remember the first one was really good. The second was kind of, eh. Was there 3 or was there just 2? I think it might have been just 2. But I remember the first one was really good. Very enjoyed it. Very much enjoyed it. Okay, I guess we'll, can I present? Here's my badge. Check it out. Mr. Sholmes, what do you make of this? Shh, quiet. When I'm ruminating in the course of deductions, nothing must disturb my mind. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ah, an Indian curry perhaps? What's he rumbling about? The lunch menu? Alright. Okay, so can I present this? Because he peeled it off, right? He'd be like, ah, I remember. I've never seen anything like this. Most extraordinary writing. What do you mean? You peeled off the freaking thing. I saw the cutscene. You said the same earlier this morning, I think. Indeed, but its most uncommonness is so remarkable. I felt the need to say it anew. Yes, I do believe these characters to be a crude attempt at Japanese script. Why, Mr. Naruhodo, I don't think to be the one to tell you this, but I think Mr. Sherm is trying to say that your handwriting is a little untidy. Is he making fun of me? It's like, did he write it himself and then... Huh. Okay. I was assuming that, you know, you'd friend to do that for you. Or what if, like, the person looks at that script on the wall and that script on the cabinet, and he's like, hang on, these look kind of different. Converse, sure. Oh boy. So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Sherlock, was it? No, I have no her. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Randall's magazine full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I've sent for England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories that you've started to think you really are a detective? So you make up your own stories. That'd be like, if J.K. Rowling was obsessed with her own writings. I'm a real wizard. No, make no mistake, I'm the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your influence is backward. Or your interference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles in them in this magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to the publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. This is why this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of the cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer noticed even the most subtle reaction in this subject. Oops. I didn't know I could do that. Actually hit R2, I didn't realize I could check that on the fly. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight indication up of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows of the skin, all things that are data. Right. And the trained logician makes the deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. And as I demonstrated only a few short moments ago, how can he look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn for both observation and deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in the most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective of all you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. You gotta say his fucking name every single time. He loves hearing his own voice. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among the number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Herlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be excellent fit in Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I guess for the time, these would be accurate handcuffs, right? Not like modern day handcuffs. I suppose so. Ugh. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? Two facts, you say? No, two facts. Yeah, there's actually just... Oh god, I got more shit to do. Okay. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came to this cabin this morning? Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The two facts in the question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. But what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance of the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering the escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed the following with a dispute with acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what makes you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. They're gonna say it's like, did he know Russian? Like, could he possibly written that, not knowing the language? That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Oh, I see. Oh, so the killer was like making it out that he was to check the wardrobe. Check the wardrobe for my killer, even though it's impossible for him to conceal himself inside. Do you really think the Kazuma-san could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian is suddenly learns Russian out of nowhere to write his dying message. Ugh. Yeah, but this is not the first time in the series this happened. It's like the killer has got the victim to quote unquote write something. It's obviously like playing it off. It's like, yeah, I wrote it, of course. I wrote it and then immediately died. Kazuma was Russian. Was he? Initially, I considered Garderobe may be the name of the killer, but a certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of the thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least, where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. You could say it's like, yes, of course, I killed him and then immediately went to sleep in a wardrobe that I could not have possibly gone inside because it had a thing on the outside. Yeah, makes sense, of course. Quite so, I found you. The renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you're wearing the same attire as the victim, in other words, that you were acquaintance. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Now, school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of this victim and a message that might analyze it for possible hidden details. Okay, so we're going to use this as evidence later, no doubt. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, because it had all been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I'd actually seen him like this. You alright, Miss Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, I think it was Mr. Oh well, either or. The photograph of the crime scene had been entered in the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned that Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times I'm not a Russian? I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things that you concluded about me, I mean? Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicaments that you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary in the accession of 16 part. Ah, yes, the mere sordid details are was fairly commonplace deduction. Here I have this morning's paper. The main headline reads: Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. He did it. It was him. The vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Also, he was murdered as well. Since when was Kazuma Russian? Okay, so he's talking about Kazuma. I see. It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has conducted that he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of the crime had the same merciless revolutionary. The one who had killed the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered, even though they looked nothing alike, but okay. Yes, you violent Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man, I just look at the face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all, of course. Fake nose, fake beard. Call it a day. Basically a different person. Therefore, you have no doubt learned how to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ah, please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. I need to say more. Well, it's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of the assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed this man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds of the man perpetrated this far are those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik has included. There could be no mistake. Do revolutionaries actually usually agree to interviews with the newspaper reporters, I wonder? Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you were like, hey, I'm gonna blow up this thing, when you'd be like, that's cool, go do it. You'd really be like, hey, you're under arrest. Ugh. Cool. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in the war-torn regions of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Yeah, take the paper yourself. It's a little memento of this great deduction. Ah, thank you. I've resolved all those interests in me within these pages, but I see no more rubbish being nearby. I'm gonna read the funnies. What's Garfield up to? And you may find the article on the back of the page. It may interest you as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it. Sometimes it takes interest in you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Alright, let's give it a look actually. Whoa! Oh, lady. She did it. This is just interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhata-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. Nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know, I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed the article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. So it's like, hey, I can't read it, and he's like, by the way, I'm gonna read it for you. Oh, thank you, he pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renewed prima ballerina of the Novish Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. It's really Pavlova is a last name. Alright. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear that the woman was in costume when she found to be missing from her dressing room. It's like you're giving grief about Russian names, it's like Japanese names. Yeah, I have trouble with those. Do like a normal English name like Bob, or Tim, or Joe. Those are easy. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Satsuga-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara's property of Novish Ballet, which would seem the directress beside herself with worry. Yeah, translate into the yen and translate into that into dollars, and then I'll get a rough estimate. Turn to USD and then AUD. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is the most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the Vanderbilt tiara. They're requesting international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even dignified in that response, Mr. Naruhodo. The article about the ballerinas being added in the court record. Okay, so we got both sides of the newspaper in. Can we have a look at that actually? Why not? I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this means. Ah, the pair you finding was a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of the newspaper is considered with some fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads Revolutionary Violin Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also those who sees the man's beard with their own eyes is to never live to tell tale. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Then how'd they take this picture? How did they develop this picture? Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? And the solution is obvious, of course. He is despises his beard to a degree, but he only needs to shave it off. I'm not sure he'll have a problem with Mr. Sholmes. It's like he wants to disappear. It's easy, just get rid of the beard. Cut his hair. All done. I think it was Aris, very popular streamer, is like very notable. He's very notable for his like giant, his giant huge beard. And he said that the day that he commits the crime of the century, or the steal of the century, or if he robs a bank or something, that's the day he's going to shave his beard off. It's like he'll disappear into the ether. It's like nobody will be able to witness him. It'll look completely different. What were you just investigating? Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma. Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. Yeah, it's right, because Japanese, they go right to left, and they also do it like that. Which is weird, because like text like this is like flat. But the way they write text is like that. Very strange. I guess it just makes translation easier, right? Yeah. But I guess if it's Japanese, it'd go backwards. It'd be right to left, not left to right. Because I got plenty of manga, and you have to read it backwards. Obviously, it's in English, but still, you have to go right to left. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But yeah, and I remember that really always annoyed me. Writing stuff in like school and whatnot, because I'm left-handed, so I'd always like smudge stuff, like always get ink on my hands constantly. Because like going left to right, you always like there's always like words right next to your hand, so always annoying. I don't think he can read his private writings. It would upset people. Tragic. And yeah, it's something you ought to perhaps allude before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, I believe it or not. I know the smattering of I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Satsuru takedown is. Or not? Satsuru-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruto-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Yeah, of course. It's like only to you, right? That's a classic trope of the girl being the strongest in the room. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear that the final sentence is incomplete, as if the order were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of this writing? Pray, to be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Huh. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, which I can only precisely read none. So what's all that showing off about before then, huh? You'd be so kind as to show me. I would happily be read to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged. My dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. How does that have to do with the tube? Maybe. A whistling sound. These are the very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. It looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator's girdle. Oh, is it a snake? Speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring... Oh, to that. To the lattice there on the wall, which connects the adjoining cabin. Yep, I saw some snakish skin. I like a speckled band. That'd be the last thing that come to mind. Very odd. Well, I guess it might be of the time, so... Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered in the court record. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Ah, so you have somewhere else to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. And the matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and I am still too long. The seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives of a curious breed. Our minds revel at stagnation. We crave mental explanation. So, yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will come clear soon enough. Will you come and look as well? Yeah. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. We haven't made any art for this area. Sorry, can't be done. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist would reveal the answer. Oh yeah. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was a culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. You would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said that you were the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. You are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ha 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 ha. Now it's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed at my face. His sense of humor is twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you still standing there for? We must go on and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? And this... Ah, yeah! Not gonna take no for an answer. After Kazuma-san spent his dying moments struggling to deliver a clue, just leaves a clue. Are you willing to give up? You're just gonna roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. So we're gonna sneak in, are we? I think we still have some investigation to finish off here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while I wait for a chance to slip in next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are always still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to carry everything I can do to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. I'm pretty sure I've already examined everything in this room, but still. Oh, there's a new guy. Is that? Something wrong now, Naruhodo-san? Oh no, it's just that the crewman standing by the door. I can't help but feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? Oh god, for real? Oh boy. Yeah, I know this guy. I recognize that face, but it can't be. It wasn't obvious. It is. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Is he gonna be a witness again? Oh boy. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that it should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. It nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of a crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. As if there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Okay, I guess we'll converse. Yeah, guys, I think I've examined everything in this room, right? I'll just give that a good old once over just in case. Yes. I believe so. Check the chair. Now, because I can't look at this pipe for whatever reason. We drew this asset for no reason. Okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, I believe you used to be able to use these back in the day. There's like very old technology. It's like, I'm not sure if this is one of the ones that work both ways, but there's some sort of like, there was some sort of like tubes that you could like speak into and like it reverberate the sounds. And you could like either listen or speak into it and it work both ways. But I'm pretty sure this is probably just one that you can just listen through. It's probably for like, you know, hey, dinner's ready, come get it, everyone in your cabins, or miss out, or whatever. So what do you have special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? That's classified. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asage-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Joiko who pushed for this. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asage-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. So somebody knew that was going to happen. Assassinated? How could that even be a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. These are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Joiko would have all be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-san was assassinated? Obviously, they wouldn't give Asage-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off the entire time we've been on board from morning till night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignments, and Asage-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. And all I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Yeah, turned out to be a cooler guy than I expected. Because in the first case, I thought it was going to be in cahoots with the actual murderer. Because I thought it was going to be him and somebody else that murdered him, but no. Turns out to be quite helpful. We're doing all we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not. Would really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed to risk the ship's safety. Or I could be like, hey, here's this camera. You go in the other room and take photographs and bring it back. Cool? Cool. Even if you moved even a touch of the handle of the cabin's door. That stormy looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now to think I'm a murderer as well. Yeah, double jeopardy. Would it be possible to give me something to work with? Do you think I'm gonna need something persuasive? I ain't got nothing. Here's this newspaper. What do you mean? That's solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example. I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'll lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. If we look at the vents, we like, check out the vent. Oh, excuse me. There may be a way. What? Really? Think about you trying to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? This is the same you did with your own court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that the Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a valuable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence that he needs to persuade the captain. Okay. Diary? Oh yeah, because he was like, "Hey, I saw a thing in the vents, right?" Or can I not do that right now? Hang on, I can't press anything right now. Or can I do it now? Oh, I see, I can do it from here. Okay. Take that. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-san wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. I like how they just reuse the same asset of a look at the book. It's like, we couldn't change this from blue to red, so it looks like she's looking at the correct book. Of course not. That'd be way too complicated. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out the moon he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. The ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin. That's right, so if we can investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck in here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid you can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. Yo, what up, Dodius? What up, man? How's it going? What's happening? And I promise that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Oiski-san safe. That's the least I can do. But yeah, we're starting the second case. Yeah, our best friend is dead and we're also up for murder again. So, oh boy, it's all going great. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruto-san. Let's select move, and we can leave the cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see if we can find out. Yes, I believe it was in other Ace Attorney games you can move from place to place as you need to. I think it was at the end of Ace Attorney 1, it was like, you need to go from place to place, and it was like, talk to a person, then come back, and then check out a thing, and then talk to a person again, back and forth. Alright, first class passageway. Aha. 9th of January, 7:48 a.m. SS Bruya, first class cabin passageway. So we're not even in the room yet, we're just in the passageway. Let's see. Phew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this wasn't quite what I was expecting. There's less spacious here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Well, it's a ship, so, you'd only need as much room as you need to. I guess that'd be designed, so you can just move around. So, like, extra large hallway for first class. For no reason. Use more space than you need to. Cramp up all the other spaces. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-san was being sent on over to study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. There's a guy. He's man-spreading. There's another crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, even if he's sitting down. The door next to him leads to a second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here and they shouldn't. Makes sense. I suppose, like people in handcuffs. Now, hold son, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. You've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Yeah, I literally haven't left the room, so, you know. The first time I've literally been out here. But I guess oh, that's right, he stowed away through the luggage, right, so he wouldn't have seen this coming in, right? Well, yes, I know. But the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Alright, I'm gonna examine. Can I move again from here? I can't. And I can't converse. Or can I? Oh yeah, there's like nobody that I can directly converse with, but I can still talk to this guy. Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask you something of you? You little third-class ladies' mate. May as well have it. Oh. We seem to be caught this soldier on a bad day, Satsuru-san. I am not Sailor. My mother gave me name. I am Senior Crewman Biff Stroganoff. I was a Stroganoff because of the pasta. That sounds kind of Russian. Phew, the best thing to avoid eye contact, I think. Oh, I can ask him stuff, there we go. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area? Yeah, I think that's like what Ace Attorney always does. They always do pun names when translating it from Japanese to English. I think it's, what was it, in one of them it's like, Mr. Red White, and I think there's like Blue, yeah, he works for Blue Corp, so it's like Red, White, and Blue. Yeah, that's right, I do remember that. Here we are on the finest part of Bruya steamship for the very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. Somehow, that stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Whatever that says. Satsuru-san, do you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian, but yes. Or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Also, is his like scarf, is it supposed to look like a fish on purpose? I think so. It's like a little pin in it for the eye. Could you tell us who's traveling the cabin next to us, guys? His name is Mr. Grimsby Rialt. He's a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How could you be so sure about that? Mr. Rialt is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest of lowly student from insignificant Far East lands. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Royal came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though I've been at sea for 2 weeks now, I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time. I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Suspicious. I could just be extremely quiet. Yeah. It's like, I think it's the person that's in the apartment underneath them. Like, I literally never hear them, ever. Like, I think the one time that I actually heard them was when they actually had people over, so... It's like, otherwise I never ever hear a peep from that apartment. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Da, all the time, so criminals like you cannot come in, or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything strange at the time? Or notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Hit. Sasuru-san, do you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything wrong in some way? I said no. Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Oh, so don't you get to check out the other cabin? Bulkhead to second-class areas for staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. No, I want to inspect the rest of this area. No. Good, now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Okay, never mind. It's like, go back to your cabin, and we're like, okay, we'll stay here. Definitely. Or is he just gonna piss off now? Okay, he's just gone, so we can actually look around now. Check out the door. That's the way to second class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. I'm out here, see you. I'm gonna jump in the ocean. Later, nerd. Things aren't exactly going well for me. Yeah, swimming at those would be quite difficult. Oh, then again, I guess like everything's pretty weightless in water, but still, I guess smell's still pretty heavy. Yeah, I'm not sure. Would you be able to actually swim away with like heavy handcuffs like that? Probably not, right? Hard to tell. Because imagine they would float, right? Maybe, maybe not. I might be wrong, but imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door. That burly seaman surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started it with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Let me check this out. Can I check out that? No, I can't. Yeah, I cannot interact with that, even though these are everywhere. That book on top of the table there is really huge. There's a pen with it too. It's probably like a log of everyone that comes in and out, right? That'd make sense. He'd like sit there and like he'd observe like everyone that comes in and out, and then like jot it down accordingly. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is most blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Huh. Either that or he was, disposed. He wasn't here to write anything in the log. Because he's the murderer, clearly. Yeah, we always blame everyone. Everyone did the murderer, and I'm a Super Mario. This looks like the plan of the SS Brouiller. It shows each deck. Look. The Brouiller is a large-scale steamship with a triple-edged skin's hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is that such a huge lump of metal that doesn't sink in the bottom of the ocean? Oh, it's because there's, you know, there's a pocket of, like, air underneath, so... Duh. Everyone knows that. Oh, that's really quite simple, Naro-san. Yeah, it's like how submarines work, how they go up and down. There's like a pocket of air that goes in and out, or they exhaust to make it sink, and then it fills up again to make it go up. Gets blammed. Hey, I didn't kill anybody. It wasn't me. Don't look at my gun. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan. Yes, they're not metal, but they're enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea ever since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Because I think like metal has some sort of buoyancy. Like everything has some sort of buoyancy. Just that, you know, I guess it like depends like how dense it is. Because it's like there's the obvious, you know, telltale like, hey, gonna give you cement shoes, so you sink to the bottom of the ocean, right? And obviously those don't float, so yeah, I guess it depends on like the material and density and whatnot. We can look at our own door, but why would we do that? First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Katsuma-sama's. Sorry. Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe and live calling home. These cabins are the finest in the ship. My own cabin is a steerage number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? Quite a lot. I think it was like in that joke of Futurama, where it's like, we're in the F floor, and F floor is like all the way at the bottom of the ship, like even like below like the fueling deck and like laundry. I guess the worst of the worst. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? Some sort of alarm. That's an emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though this sets the alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Epic prank. Oh, what are you doing now, Hoda-san? You mustn't touch it. This is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. He just fucking presses it. Clearly it's an emergency. You know full well what that alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be even in a worse situation. I wish everything would just stop, the ship included. If you ever do something foolish, at least try to make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Yes. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. It's the one ventilator connects to. Not the ventilator. But still, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a special speckled band emerges. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Now my fingerprints are going to be all over the door. No answer. Could be sleeping. Right of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help our inquiries. Or either if they're like, just a sec, I need to put some pants on. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. It's a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes. I shan't be stopped. When his fitters on me are rebel and kicking down doors with their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce did I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's time to think about the stress relief. Well, there's no time to think about the stress relief. Just try pushing open the door. There we are. Easy enough. 9th of January. SS Bruya. First class. Cabin number 2. Oh, so much for the high-pitched scream. Unless this is a lady in disguise. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. It's very strangely similar beard to the one in the newspaper. Isn't that interesting? We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there is nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in this case, who just screams? Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsley Royalt, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? Also this... Yeah, I'm just looking at the layout of this room. It's like very similar to the other room. I'm wondering if they like took the assets from the other room and just like flipped them. Probably right, yeah. Because the desk is still on the same side, just the bed and the wardrobe is on the other side. I'm the one and only, the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective amongst great detectives. The one who adorns the cover of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So it might as be bold to ask you just to open that small traveling case. Yeah, she's clearly inside. What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh, hang on. Oh my, did you just see that, Mr. Naruhodo? There's a snake inside. Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now. Otherwise, I shall call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsley Royalt. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Okay, so much for leaving. Let's stay and look around your entire cabin. Uh-huh. He's just sitting inside. But why? Getting the feel for it. Alright, let's look at the bed first. What do you think you're doing? Huh? This is my cabin. Get out. Can we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No. What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. Okay, so much for that. There doesn't be anything we can do, anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with that great Mr. Rialt. Well, considering he doesn't trust detectives, but okay. Oh, weird. It's like checking off. It's like all this is like checked off as if I've looked at it before. But yeah, these books have fallen in the exact same way. That way, Falling the exact same way that that they did in our cabin. Now, isn't that interesting? Alright. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage at the confines of the water, and while waiting for the inevitable time which you would need to call my great prowess of detecting into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no actually, you're spot on. For once. Colonel from Mega Man X4, what do you think you're doing? Yeah, I've never played X4, so... Don't quite know the context, but... I'm assuming you're on point. Yeah, it's a series I'd like to tackle someday. The Mega Man X series, because I've always been a Mega Man Classic fan, but like never really got into the X series at all. Yeah, because I bought, because I did the Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and I bought the Legacy Collection 1 like forever ago, so... Yeah, that might be something I could do in the future, for sure. I actually forgot I even bought that. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes, please. Yeah, for sure. I'd be down. Because I forget, I think it goes up to 4. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's look it up on the cell phone telephone. What do we got in the Legacy Collection? Let's see here. Mega Man X Legacy Collection. I just want 1. I don't want 1 and 2 because I don't have 2. Legacy Collection. Oops, misspell. 1. I need information, please. It's like not telling me like what's included. Haha. Oh, there we go. Doesn't include. Oh yeah, it goes up to X4. Yeah, okay. X2, X3, and X4. Cool. Yeah, and I also like to return to the original Mega Man Classic series as well, because I think I almost beat 1 on stream, and I've beaten 2 on stream. But yeah, if anything, I'd like to beat 9 on stream as well. But yeah, I'm not sure how insane that to be, because 9 has a lot of bullshit. Like, it's like, oh, you died, and it's like, I gotta do like this part of the level again, the exact same way I did it before. So, and then you get to that point again, you die again. It's like, oh, it's right, time to do that point all over again, the exact same way I did before. So, yeah, maybe. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Royalt, is clearly trying to hide something. Yeah, what's that? He's got... He also have a newspaper in his pocket. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusive for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when his secret guarded so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? They're gonna make up bullshit like it did with us. Oh yes, please. Well then, what are you about to see may as well astound you. For I'm about to apply the great detective's great deduction to the case. Could this man be more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? He's like hearing him as he's talking about him. From time to time it occurs to me. It's like just talking about him like directly as if he's not in the room or if he can't hear him. He's like, I'm right here. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, yeah. I was saying that earlier, it's like legally distinct character, do not sue. Even though I'm pretty sure that Sherlock Holmes is a fictional character to begin with, but I'm sure that somebody owns the rights, so probably just to cover their ass, they're like, hey, it's our original character, Sherlock Holmes. We swear to God, we didn't base him off anyone. Is the fellow dubious of account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on the first meeting, but I once read, it is capital mistake to therefore mistake to theorize before we have all the evidence, and it biases the judgment. Shh, I must have complete silence. I'm thinking. What are you doing? What are you peering at my face like that? Just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all facts. Mr. Royals, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Huh? And number two, the other conclusion that I've drawn. Also, it's interesting that he's using, most commonly, this is with green for left-handers, because I know that because I'm left-handed. And he's using them in his right hand, so that's interesting. Unless it's just a color choice, because they're like green's kind of bright, right? Because usually it's green for left and red for right. That's how it always was. Well, actually, is with like a lot of things actually that are right and left-handed. Because I think it was the one time that me and my friends we did archery. It was always red for the right-handed bows and it was green for the left. And I think I picked up a left-handed bow and it's like, yeah, that's for left-handed people. I'm like, but I am left-handed. It's like, oh, I see. I see. Like literally all my other friends picked up the right-handed bows and I was the only one that picked up the left-handed one. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing the most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervousness, tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Also, I'm very under suspicion that this person is who they do not appear. Because I'm assuming that they're really going to be like, take up the hat, take off the beard, take off the glasses, take up the coat, and it's going to be somebody completely different underneath. To try archery at some point, yeah, it's not too bad. Like, there's places where you can just go and you just pay to, like, just shoot arrows for a few hours. They're not like, major bows, but they have, like, just, basic bows for, just to shoot for a few hours. They're not like, actual proper, like, real bows and whatnot. And they'll, like, be like, be instructors that are like, don't draw your bow, when you're not aiming to shoot, like, always keep it down, like, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's actually not too difficult. Though I guess like we weren't too far away from the targets, but still, it's like when you actually like get like real good. It's like the target's like literally like 50 meters away. It's like I gotta hit it right in the center or close to it. It's like that's when you're gonna get real good. Oh, Narahodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing could deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce that all there is to know about a person. What What infallible twaddle. Oh yes, I read all about that countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of the Great Deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. He's getting wrapped up in it, obviously a fan. I can hardly believe it, but all the colour is drained from Mr. Royalt's face. It looks like somehow most of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then, I shall elucidate. Allow me to explain how I arrive at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you to upon the journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Oh. Interesting. He's got his own intro and everything. Old man's identity. Conclusion. I was gonna slowly break it down. Yeah, I guess it's much like how he does in the was it the Sherlock Holmes films, where it's how'd you come to the conclusion? It's oh, but you see, it zooms right in. It's I saw that thing right there. I saw that scar on your face. It means that you're a tough guy. You're a brawler. Likes to pull his punches and this and that. Same kind of idea. So the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Royalt obviously what catches my eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hands. Now you may ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer is, of course, staring us right in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard of your sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged this: why would you decide to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Royalt? So yes, I spent 2 years growing this just to cut it off when I'm traveling, of course. Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed the light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article. Which would it appear that you have read also, Mr. Royalt? I'm sure that needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Or they just happen to look quite similar, so he's I'm gonna get rid of this bit so I don't get mistaken for him. Much like we are right now. Yeah, because he looks different, so. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. You cannot fail to observe the subject article possesses the extremely copious beard. Having noticed the article yourself, you decide to remove your incriminatingly facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, violent Bolshevik, even though he looks nothing like him. Not that I've heard myself. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand? Conclusion, a revolutionary on the run. Oh, still going. Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are at this very moment on the brink of committing the most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Royalt. Taken unawares, people have propensity to let their eyes astray, you see. And I assure you that I speak with much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth, but he's wearing glasses. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance fails. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents to be laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, A young lady, perhaps, or one slight enough to fit therein? Don't be absurd. Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a lady underneath all this, beard trying to conceal herself. Gotta take off the bulky sweater and the beard and fake nose and hat. It's gonna be a lady underneath, no doubt. That's my guess anyway. And what, pray, could be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? The careless Coupe de Doyle betrays you. Once again, we only need to follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can be easily found in the passage of the pages of the newspaper. But there is another most stimulating article. If we can turn the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Yeah, it's probably going to be her underneath, right? The renowned prima ballerina of Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemensky. I'm guessing that's supposed to be, instead of even saying elementary, it's Elemensky. Okay. Because wasn't that what Sherlock Holmes used to always say? Elementary, my dear Watson. Right? Yeah. Can't even rip off the catchphrase. Well, I guess they did, kind of, but still. Satsuda-san. That wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing of that so much, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Yeah, let me guess what the stories are like. I'm the best, I'm great, amazing, and I'm the best there ever was, but in reality it's not so great. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a minute? Let me teleport. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all, go on. Well, to start with, there is a newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other. Yeah, or either that or... he bullshits around until he eventually gets, the real evidence, then the stories are changed to seem like he got a first try, right? Yeah, no doubt. Yes, I recall a discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Royal does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina, indeed a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be likely to fit a 5-year-old in that case, even if you pushed really hard. I suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read heard it, I believe. Troop of men consuming a vinegar daily in order to promote certain lightness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely imply itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortions in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. It's just making up shit. It's clearly those are the facts, right? just prodded them till they eventually get frustrated. It's like, no, this is how it actually is. Oops, that was the truth. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions right now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just that where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Satsuru. It's just that one or two key words in his deductions seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactically switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deductions? Yes, but very tactically. I'm sure that we could do that. So is this the gimmick of the game? He gives like the the narrative, and you kind of like switch things around. Be like, let's like take this and change it up, and now it makes sense. I'm guessing so. We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought I was going through in my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry. Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Handcuffs? Oh, they're gone. Where are your handcuffs? Huh? What? How did... I felt like they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. I'm free, later nerds. Runs out of here. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. Don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let's begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh, now it's my turn. To be like, hold up. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Royal, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. His enormous pair of shears in your hands. Okay, so this is like all the shit he's already said. And do I gotta go... Is this much like where you cross-examine somebody in court? Oh, okay. So when there's the... Oh, okay. So when there's the big sum of like orange text, I can be like, hey, wait a second, I'm gonna trade that out. Okay, so it's not that hard of a gimmick. Because I think it was in the second one, the 3DS, we had to take somebody's memories and then go back and then be like, hey, this is the pinpoint, this is the point where it's like something happens. Yeah, I didn't get that at all. I was like, that ended up making me quit the game. Because like, I don't understand. I was like more or less just doing the same thing over and over and getting nowhere. I'm like, I don't get this. I'm out here. I'm a rage quit and never come back. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? Probably not, right? Unless you were really desperate. Oh, I guess you could use the cut off like the start and then use like a razor to finish it off. I doubt that's something I ever have to worry about. That doesn't quite sit right with me though. Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Royals either. Which means, I suppose, that deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword there, Naruhodo-san, and let's see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Royals. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Exactly. If we manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we can do to even the switch around in the last sentence. What exactly is Mr. Royal going to use those enormous shears for? Copious beard, thick hats. Yeah, I was assuming it was going to be the newspaper, right? Well, the hat is the only thing I can change it out for. I'm gonna cut the hat up. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Or can I just... can I just present it without any penalty? I suppose that's the only other thing I can select, so okay.
Yes!
The cut. Oh no, I can get penalized. For years, you have been on the run in your homelands, and that hat has never left your head. As a result, you're almost unbelievably, your thick beard is woven itself in texturally together with your hat. But now you have an itch. Somehow you must reach it, even if it means cutting the hat off. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Harder? Let's find an answer, projection or deduction. Sometimes truth hurts. Well, the truth is you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. Okay, never mind. Okay. What was that bearded Russian playing in the cut off those enormous shears? If we look carefully enough, perhaps we'll notice something will give us a clue. We need to approach this from every angle. We must consider all possibilities. That's easy to say, but alright, let's see if we can work it out. It wasn't his beard, then what was the man thinking of cutting? Can I pan? Oh, I can actually rotate him. Oh. Oh! Yeah, so it is a lady. Golden locks. Interesting. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't know I could, like, rotate the character. Yeah, again! You see down the bottom there on the right-hand corner, there's nothing in the HUD to indicate that I can do this. Fucking stupid. Ugh. Come on, Capcom. What are you doing? Alright. What the? What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No, the color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Royal's head? How's it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. We're so stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. I guess I can present that, right? Well, obviously, because that's like the one thing that sticks out. Obviously.
Yes!
Golden locks. Got it. Alright. Yeah, I also didn't know I could inspect before I could present, so there's that as well. You're on the verge of using those shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed. You have identified the precise detail that I was intending to expose, even though you've never saw them yourself. Alright. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman, and judging from the length of sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. Busted. If I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged this: why would you decide to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Or at least, tuck it into your coat or something. Unless they, accidentally. Obviously you can't see yourself from behind, so they start accidentally sticking out. I had no idea. Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence reveals your true identity. The article about the revolutionary. Oh, gotta change this one. That was a shock. I had no idea the old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? Yeah, so I guess since we found that fact, this literally makes no sense, so... What? Why are you staring at me like that? Dun dun dun, yeah. It's all coming together. Yes, it was a surprise. Naruto-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Royal is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly fit this merciless revolutionary. So we just flip the newspaper over to the other side where there's the lady, right? I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts that we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman's situation about that like that recently. Yes, please. Please hold my hand again, please. I don't get it. Clearly. Alright, I'll do my best. Obviously. Alright.
Yes!
Yes. Article about ballerina. The evidence reveals that your true identity, of course, is the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear that we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! Stab. I was joking. Though I guess, like, probably the hat's like for sure doesn't, like, actually, you know, her skull isn't square like that. Oh my god. It's like I predicted it, like, half an hour ago. I can't believe it. Somehow has an earring, something. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg of you, don't tell anyone. A ballerina on the run, and also her body shape just suddenly completely changed as well. Before it was thick like a man, but now it's slender like a lady. Now, so my second conclusion. I gotta change this as well. You are this very moment on the blink of committing the most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have the propensity to let their eyes astray, see? And I assure you that I speak so much more than equably and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies within the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. Yeah, though I guess it'd be impossible for her to also be here and also in the case, so... I'm myself, and you're me. And you're in there, and we're in there. But I want to know, where's the caveman? This woman's the ballerina, and she's right there in front of our eyes. So she clearly can't be inside the traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems that she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime the young woman apparently is committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. Yeah, look, please, Naruto-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around in Mr. Sholmes? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Okay. Well... Oh, I see. I thought I was going to be able to rotate around this. But hey, there we are. It's like, as if we didn't notice that. We all happened to be standing precisely exactly so we couldn't see this. Uh-huh.
Yes!
So I guess in that making like this really obvious on purpose because this is the first time we've done it, so probably get like really complicated later. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah. I guess she like stole it. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item that's worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you've committed is theft. As if she'd be able to sell that. Oh, I guess she could sell it to like a private buyer or whatever, but still. It's like, yes, here, take this. I'm somebody that's not her, of course. Give me money. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully, taking their precious tiara with you. Wait, but like, what does this have to do with like the case we're currently investigating? Fucking nothing. So, like, wasting our time. Ah! I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. Bullshit. It was a present from, how do you say, an earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl's only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point of hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? Oh yeah, what's in the suitcase? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence, so unless the snake's in there, then we're completely wasting our fucking time. Is it reasonable to conclude, therefore, that exists for some reason why you wish for it to remain closed? Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense of playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good sense of idea of the contents of your case, even though I never laid eyes on them. Dear me. We are well not suited of life of crime are where your careless coupe de vol betrays you. Oh, unless you saw the tiara in the vents, unless she was like hiding in there. To be like, yeah, don't look, guys. Because he saw, he was saying in his diary they saw like a scarlet band, right? And we were assuming that was a snake, but it could be like they saw the tiara. Once again, we only need to follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written on the books of the shelf. You can please change these attack with the abduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into this? Just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open a case would be written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I didn't notice it myself. There has to be another reason why she won't open the case. It must be somewhere in the same area if that's where the gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. But the books also fell over in our cabin, so I was assuming it was just shifting of like of the boat. They may all fall over, but small picture. Warning. Oh yeah, what's this about? Yes, pets. No, it's probably not the bookshelf, right? It's this about pets. Yeah, because this is a warning. It's like no pets allowed, and because she has something in the suitcase, she's obviously trying to hide a pet, right? Yeah. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. Passengers must not keep weapons or any dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There's exactly the same notice in our cabin too. I wonder if it happens to break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruto-san. You'd probably be left adrift in this freezing hot cold ocean. Or shed outside tiny water for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Yeah, I'm assuming that's it.
Yes!
Yeah, so she wasn't like looking at the book, she was looking at the thing on the wall. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in cabins. Pets are strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. Is that the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents? Aye. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move on its own accord. Which leaves one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case is a snake. Is the last item listed as forbidden vessel's rules? A passage, a pet. Ah! Got him. Possession of prohibited animal. Deduction complete. Elementary. Oh, see, it does say elementary. I guess you can't really copyright a word, but still. So clearly, you aren't who you say you were. No, I am not Grimsby Royalt. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet's company performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel, which couldn't have been easy. The boy is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could you really have been snuck aboard this vessel without being noticed? Unless the real person was set to board this ship and she was like, I'm him, of course. I look exactly like him, hell yeah, let me on. In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly look like the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all your links to your past by severing your long hair. Yet, so a woman's hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. With that giant hat, she could probably like stuff the hair in there, right? Wouldn't be too hard. So it was just you. You're about to cut off your own hair. And who was it let out the scream we heard outside the cabin? That invertible inking of a bell was none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself, and no one recognized me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that of a questionable old man, I see. I put up the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw the newspaper. Oh, it just happened to be a coincidence that you look exactly like that guy. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened. I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that I didn't change my appearance completely, that they would find me. I just happened to look at the newspaper. Right when we were outside. I decided to cut off all my hair as fast as possible. I picked up the scissors in hand, then... At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Unless she did have her hair tucked away and she just let it out just to cut away and we just happened to walk in, so... Yeah, maybe. Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. It's a dog. Please, don't tell anyone if the captain finds out. If you say any of this to the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us as much detail as you can muster about the events last night. Oh, I guess we have some information about her, like what she heard about, heard in the next room. Yes, all right, I will tell you. It was me. I did the murder. I did it for the lulz. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, wasn't it something? Miss Sholmes' great deductions? Mr. Sholmes' great deductions? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Him, like, reinstating the fact about himself. And one more thing. Oh, yes. What? Observe your wrists. Let me guess, the shackles are back on. My. It was probably because they couldn't obviously animate him, spinning around and being like, yes, aha, with shackles on. So, just for the sake of that, they probably got rid of them, plot-wise. Ah, your hands, they're cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I restored your shackles. When? And why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I am sorry to say. It can't be helped at this moment. It can't, really? Anyway, this is what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what this speckled band that the Kazuma-san wrote about this diary really was. Can I examine the thing now? Let's have a look. Let me see. Don't touch. Huh? I will tell you what I know about last night, but please, you must not touch my things. How do you say, forbid it? Oh, sorry. As well as you should be, young man. What vulgar manners you have. Poking around a young lady's private belongings. Neither shall I allow it. Hypocrite. Fine. Can I look at anything else? I'm guessing more or less all the shit in here is more or less the exact same as in our room, but I was even a play on the floor, much like in our room. Yeah, interesting. Unless there was like some sort of shift in the boat that made all the books fall and like all the shit on the table fall off. But this is still on the table, unless it was recently put on there. But if it fell this way, right, then it wouldn't have fallen this way. So it doesn't make any sense. Interesting. I can't even check that other bag, so yeah, I've already checked all this shit, so. But I guess it's more or less a duplicate of what we have in our room, so makes sense. Okay, let's converse. Also, before we do that, check out my badge. What do you think? Can I show you this? I'm actually a university student from the Empire of Japan, you see. That means nothing to me. No, why would it? Mr. Naruhodo, if you're undetermined to flaunt your Yume badge, at least choose a Japanese person who might recognize it. Miss Satsuro, can I show you this? Maybe later. Oh, I should show Inspector Hosonaga too. Yeah, that's always the ongoing meme, because you always have your badge and you always present it whenever possible. There's always some sort of flavor text, so... Oh boy. And let me guess, more is going to be added as I go through it. Yup. Hooray. Did you know that someone was killed in a cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh. That's why we were trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, or for example, perhaps people were talking. Or perhaps you did it! It was you, wasn't it? Oh, literally this is the only way that anyone can get in or out, right? So... Yes. Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest, perhaps the steam engine exploded. Perhaps everyone on the board would have noticed that it happened. Miss Pavlova, is there anything you could tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything was happening around me. Oh, I see. Sure. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life. I'm going to try to make a living as a ballerina. You wish to forget a challenging proposition when you have that striking tiara as a reminder? Well, I guess if you sell it, you get enough money, you can live for a bit without having to work, but still. Let's change your appearance, become someone completely different. I'm not Miss Pavlova, I'm Miss... cheesecake. I'm trying to think of another, dessert cake. But the tiara is mine, I need to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water and must dance all over the world. Oh, really? No money? Oh, I guess you're probably too young to be paid, right? But you should at least get something. I mean, even friggin', kids that work at McDonald's get something. 14 years old can still earn a wage. But I guess this is back in the day, but still. Different times, I guess. Had to run away, had no choice. Even if I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of this ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and if they said I could hide in this cabin. That is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova. It creates the most intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation to what the conundrum was. Well, to what conundrum? But I'm not sure, but... Yay. I want to ask about this first. So the friend you mentioned inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious... And then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in the unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah! So reassuring them, Mr. Sholmes. What sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it? I'm just imagining a dog laying flat on its side. Maybe an adorable little rabbit? It's a snake, isn't it? Aha, you credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may as well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to the stunning nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Really? Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when its very strikes, it satisfy the needs of sustenance. Well, if it was probably not right because it'd be too noisy. They'd find that in a second. See, eat your friends? I remember that. Well, it would appear that your friend's identity is close to the guard's secret, not to be revealed. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I'd like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Okay, I might have to present something soon enough. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. Probably not the right time for it, but alright. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night you aboard this vessel. However, the SS Brouillard stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So how was it, pray, that you come to be aboard? We just jumped. You swam real fast. Or you swam in the route of the boat and just climbed on board. Now that I think about it, the crewmen outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was after we argued with him about the occupant of this cabin that came aboard. That is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. Also, I need a pee. So I'll be right back. Oh yeah, I'm back. Yes. Yeah, I was like just looking at myself on the monitor, how I was sitting. Oh, so what's this? Yeah. Oh, it's a part of the background, I see. I was like looking at that white spot, I'm like, is that my couch that's showing? But it's not, it's completely covered up. Yeah, because if I get up and move, hang on. Oh, I see. Oh, it's the plate. It's the plate there, I see. Yeah, okay. Because I saw the whiteness, I'm like, surely my green screen hasn't slipped off, hasn't it? No. Right. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry, what was that? This is how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too, descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. You're 15 years old and you're ready to quit. No, to be fair, like when you're young enough, you don't really care about too much. I mean, it's like when I got my very first job, like getting like very little pay, I didn't really care what I was doing either, so. Don't know any better. So young and rebellious, willing to do anything. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Like I say, is she speaking English or is she speaking Japanese or? Hard to say. Mr. Sherms once said you can never resist the touch of a dramatic. It seems like Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words I once said of it myself. You're just taking her quote and trying to apply it to yourself. A quote from the wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Okay, that's it. I guess we got to present something then. Sure. Can I present everything? Let's do it. Oh, I can't. Hang on. We gotta back out of this. That's right. That's right. It has its own separate menu. That's right. Whoa! Oh, I can actually rotate this. Ooh. Ah, these must be the remnants of the glue used to stick the paper seal on the wardrobe. Would you have to re-glue it every night or every time? That's right. It was pulverized rice. Oh, does that really work? You mash rice up and it sticks. Interesting. Pulverized rice? Yes, I pulverized some of the rice for my evening meal, even though it broke my heart. You broke your heart? But what do you mean? Remember, I'm a stowaway on this ship. All I had to do was eat was Kazuma's leftovers. Even a couple of grains of rice would have meant the difference between life and death. Oh my, it must have been awful for you, Naruto-san. But I have some glue with me if it happens. You're welcome to use it this evening. Oh, thank you very much. Just in case. Let's present everything. Miss Pavlova, would you take a look at this? I don't know. I don't know anything. Mr. Naruto, you're frightening this poor girl. Oh, sorry. I wasn't trying to. I mean, that's just the generic being like, yeah, I got nothing statement. Yeah, okay. Say it. I'm gonna present everything because I can, because I'm not being penalized. Miss Pavlova, what about this article? Did you know about this merciless revolutionary already? No. So it just happened to be a coincidence that she almost looked exactly like him. But when I saw the picture, I couldn't believe it. He looks just like me in my disguise. Huh? Am I the only one around here with eyes? The older man, the one wearing the brown, and he also said so. He said we looked the same. Yes, he said a lot of things, but I have strong feelings that besides you and the great detective, that you won't find another soul in this ocean who thinks there's any similarity there at all. Mr. Naruhodo, won't you let us speak ill of Mr. Sholmes? No, I wouldn't dream of it. Miss Pavlova, about this article. It looks so beautiful. It's like a fairy. I'm scared if my picture is in the newspapers. You poor girl. She's so young, just 15 years old, for her to run away all by herself. She must have felt very, very alone. Excuse me, just clearing my throat. Just muting myself every time I do it, so you don't have to hear it. The constant reading, like always, brings up phlegm in my throat. Always happens. Okay. There's the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual, it reads. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. This is her whistling to herself, or unless whatever pet she has also whistles. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator she mentioned joins this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything. Oh. Something occurred and you don't want to tell us. Excuse me, Mr. Royalt. Yes? What? Wow, she changed back in 1 second. Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once, please. Alright, I will come now. It's got the scissors back in hand. Well, I guess it's like how the character mold is, so... Wouldn't want to make a separate model without the scissors, that'd be too hard, right? What? You must leave, now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry about yourself, Mr. Rail. Get out. The passenger said, out! You want me to throw you out? It looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. Oh, there you go. So is that like a chapter, I guess? Well, I guess I think these setups are quite lengthy in their own right. So before we actually get to the case, so. Yes. How long have I been going for? Oh, 3 hours? Christ. Holy crap. That is quite the lengthy intro. My goodness. Alright, so I think I might call it there then. All good. And we'll continue this next week. Oh, not now! Spoilers! Jeez. Okay. Yeah, but we'll continue this next time. No. Back to title. Don't save. Yes. Alright, so continue this next weekend. But I should be live with Metal Gear tomorrow, so... Thanks for streaming. Yeah, all good, man. No problem. Yeah, I'd continue if I could, but then I'd be streaming for like 3 more hours, so... And I think like it's the 4-hour point where my brain's like, brain melts. No work no more. Nope. So... Yeah, definitely not in the cards to do another chapter. Yeah, because like last time I was able to do 2 chapters because they were like 2 hours long each, but when it's like 3 hours, then like what, another 3 hours or 2 hours? It's like, I don't know about that. But yeah, cheers for stopping by, my guy. Oh, good. I'll see if anybody's on, just in case. We'll have a look. Nobody really. No. Oh, good. Alright. We'll call that then. Alright. So yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow if you're here. Or if not, all good. Have a good week, have a good weekend, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.